Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here. I'm going to give you a bit of a preview of the upcoming mod Third Reich events. I've made some of it. I've gotten it out to some of my long-term beta testers that I hope will report good things back about it. You can of course make comments here on the video thread. Gladly hear from you what you think. It doesn't change the counters. That's the counter mod. We have the no man's land mod, and a few other things. Third Reich events should be compatible with many mods. There will be some mods like the Waffen SS mod that my friends have made. We'll need a compatibility patch, but otherwise once you do that it should be very compatible. Obviously you notice my Third Reich events. I made the Balkenkreuz flag. So first thing we're going to do is pick a national focus. Now you may notice there are renamed national focus for your plan and for your plan continues, and there are other changes have been made. And you notice also we have started out, I've done nothing here. You start out with Rudolf Hess and Helmar Schnecht, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Heinkel, which was the main, I would say, dominant, whatever, air producer in 36 for Germany. Start out with them. I like the effects of the Messerschmitt better, so these aren't picked for the best choice. They're picked for what I think is the most historical choice, Rheinmetall and Krupp there. So you start off with those. I will be giving some starting ministers and such for the other majors at least. We'll be doing that before release. Much of the start is per normal. You don't want to do this one at start with Third Reich events installed. Yeah, I really want to just go over here. At start. Not that you don't want to do it, but you don't want to do it at start. And we will build my usual. Build a bunch of factories. I know that I have no intention of playing until the war, but just let's play. And we'll give them another. There we go, and let's train some divisions up. I like doing that because I want to put them in multiple locations. We'll start out. Instead of all in just one. But the add unit is good and maybe even better to have them all in, a bunch of them at least in one place, so easy to find. Just personal preference. And I like to put the mountain unit down. It's historical. Where the 2 mountain unit schools were down there in Germany. Okay, let's kick this up to at least that speed. And faster. If you played Third Reich events for Black Ice version, well, no new events are planned for the first release. It'll be this, good old standard stuff that you're used to. Okay, 1936 Winter Olympics are coming. You must finish the preparations. This event has moved from being a event that costs supplies, since we no longer have supplies, preparing for the Olympics, building things like these really nice bobsled run, which is still in existence today. The Top Gear guys, the old group, did a bobsled versus a car run thing on that, I believe. So, building that to now costing you a little bit of political power. And I'm walking through this in detail because I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this, because I don't know that I've gotten it right. I'm sure I haven't got it 100% right, but what you think about it. So this is costing some political power to do this, so we'll go down to 40 here. Bra bag is sort of one of these weird initials. I'm going to be adding a few more. Germany had in 36, significant sized. I don't know that it was quite this big, but this is definitely an aerial, or not aerial, but from a tower photo of one of the synthetic factories. So this is giving you a free synthetic factory here that just popped up. And it is giving you a 30% bonus on two next level, the next two researching of refineries. That's why you don't want to do it right at the beginning, to show that Germany, because if you start doing this, say, as Britain, which no, let's change it, because Britain does have lots of potential oil to import. Let's change this to Japan. If you start doing this at Japan did have synthetic refineries, but they were incredibly further behind than Germany. Now, you start out without this one researched as Japan, but I think, all things being equal, Germany had a boost over most other nations on this topic, so I'm giving them a little boost. Maybe, I don't know if 30% is too big, too little. Again, feedback on that would be nice. Okay, and this is the start. Talks a little bit about it, but if you notice, it minuses you some resources. For some reason, Thuringen, that is here. 4 and 4. See, it has two single minuses, but then when you click back here, well, that didn't work as intended. Okay. That should have reduced that down. I added a negative number in it. Well, okay. So we need to do a little more testing on that. And as you know, these things are a work in progress at this point. Okay. Oh, also, I'm using my standard image size. When I have it displayed up right below the title, it displays the image that Hearts of Iron 4 uses as sort of the default image. If it doesn't have the correct image, can't point to it. Everything codes same. I don't know, haven't been able to fix why it knows it should be an event image. And even when I have the same code displayed here and up there, it does the default image up there and this one down here. So it's not that I'm pointing to the wrong place. So I don't get it yet. So that's something still to be worked out. Maybe it's something that needs to be corrected in hearts of iron that I don't get to look at. So here, a little thing that helps with, it should die after about 30 days. Helps with all of the participants in the Olympics. Proves Germany's, or their relations with Germany, or their opinion of Germany. Cost you some political power. Sonja Henning. She was a gold medalist. As you can see, that's not necessarily her, but the gold medal for the Olympics. There she is. She salutes the Führer. Now, was that a Nazi salute? She's Swedish. She was from Sweden. But she salutes towards Hitler, does this. Now, that's very similar. Not sort of above your head like that is, but just sort of out your arm out. Was the Olympic salute prior to or up to, because they was being used at you see it at the Summer Olympics by some non-fascist nations, and you see it before. After this Olympics, the Olympic salute is never used again. So was it an Olympic salute, or was it a Nazi salute? But she was saluting Hitler, and then she goes up and meets Hitler, as you can see there. She becomes a fairly famous movie star in America after this. Sort of a skating movie star. Most of the time she's ice skating in the movie. It's sort of like Esther Williams, if you know that. Maybe I'm talking to people who don't know anything about these, who does all these swimming movies, but she does ice skating movies. So rather famous person there from Sweden, but she was a fairly well-known figure skater at the time, but later becomes a movie star after 36 when she moves to America. So she salutes the Führer. We can't see it too well here. Put on a modern interpretive dance for the Olympic folks there, the Germans do. This is, Coke is one of the sponsors of the Olympics. You can't see too much below it there, and there's the pin. Now, I've come to be a bit suspicious of this Coke advertisement here. Ein Volk, ein Reich, ein Volk, ein Reich. God, I'm blanking on it right now, and it's under there. Ein Volk, ein Führer. One leader. Coke is it. I don't know if this is a really good, because I found this image on the internet. I don't know if this is a really good Photoshop of stuff or not. I've become suspicious of it. I haven't removed it yet. This skating image for the Winter Olympics, and can't see it, it's sort of covered up, is definitely a Coke advertisement for the Olympics, and there, and you can't see the thing below it, is also a Coke advertisement for the Olympics. They were a sponsor. I'm suspicious of that now. And then the closing ceremony. You can see the world tension has decreased, though we're at 0. I plan on doing similar things for the Olympics later, the Summer Olympics. In 1936, and I definitely before World War II, the Summer and Winter Olympics happened the same year, generally speaking the same country. So, there we go. Gustloff, he becomes a Nazi martyr. That's him there. You can read about him. He was a dual citizen between Switzerland and Germany. That's David Frankfurter. It says murderer down there. Well, he was definitely the killer. Don't know if he would murder under Swiss law. So he assassinates Gustloff and has a trial, goes to prison. I think it's a life sentence. They didn't have the death penalty. You have the ability to declare war against Germany, though you take a massive, like a 30% or 30-point national unity hit. So, because Germany is just unprepared even for a war with Switzerland at this point, but you can go to war. Or you can turn him into a martyr and gain more national unity, such like this. You can read about him here. He's released February 27, 1945. 18 years in prison, but he's out in 45, so just before the war's over, they let them out because they're no longer under threat from Germany. And of course, they by this time well realized that killing a Nazi wasn't necessarily a bad thing by that point. And he dies in what is it, 1982, in Israel. So, a Jewish resistance fighter before the war. And I really have to wonder if Gustav, because he was fairly significant in the Nazi Party, had he not been assassinated, what would have been the difference with Switzerland? Would he have gotten the Führer to invade? Would he have made a much bigger Swiss... He wasn't... Well, I don't want to say too much, but there were local Swiss... He was involved in the... very openly in the Nazi movement for Germans living in Switzerland, but not... And that was... He was in charge of all of the sort of the overseas Nazi party, if you will, but only for Germans living overseas, not for Swiss of German descent. But there was probably a little more contact there than was officially admitted. It's explored, of course, if you've watched it in Third Reich events. So, okay, we have the national focus here, and we have to hit that to stop it. I don't like that. Okay, now if you notice, this green line goes all the way over here because West Wall requires you to remilitarize the Rhineland. The original version doesn't, and if you go straight down here without doing it, you don't get the West Wall in the occupied zones or the demilitarized zones. But I think they wouldn't allow it anywhere at that point. And so, see, we're going to add Walter Funk to it. And so you're going to get events that add and decrease national unity, add and decrease political power points with TRE. TRE is not, and I repeat, is not made to make Germany easier. It is made to make it more historical. Now that might be, if you put everything together, it might be easier than not, but I don't know. I've got to check that. This should be removing one, but at least it didn't add any. Spain started a civil war. Okay, mechanical computing is available to start research. I know part of the thing is to differentiate between, say, Argentina and Germany. If you start researching some of these, you're looking at almost a year's worth of research that would tie up a 1 or a 2 to 3 research slot thing, and it's probably not useful to do if you're that small of a nation, although I think it's useful in all the majors. And machine tools. So we're going to do dispersed industry. Alright, Shadow Bond. Now, when TRE is released, there'll be a lot more events, and you'll probably want to play it on a slower speed. Okay, we're going to start researching the West Wall. Notice it's only, what, 28 days? I shortened it. For one very important reason. And we now have open. Got the one. Destroyers. Support weapons. And we'll see shortly why. And we can modify our government some more. Now, my philosophy, and of course I do want your input, I don't like the idea that you get these are all empty when you start out. I know it's sort of the game, I'm doing air quotes as I said that, of trying to fill that in. Well, when you are trying to do a reality thing, they're already there for the majors, and that's particularly, so that's makes them different than the minor powers, or, you know, difference between starting out as Romania and starting out as Germany. I know I'm giving you some of my design philosophy here. But so what this can do is free up your ability to use your political power as diplomatic leverage on things. That's why some of the international events now give or take away political power points. Though, let's go with Henschel. This is more Henschel. And you don't have to play a historically minded game with Third Reich events. But you won't get a lot of the benefits of Third Reich events if you don't. Because we're basing this on history. Yes, Third Reich events gives you the chance to invade Switzerland, but you take a massive hit. A lot of these events that are coming up have a check for is it war or not? You know, are you at war? Because there were a lot of improvements done to the economy that I don't think would have been done had Germany been at war. So if you're one of these people that are going to be 1936 trying to take out Denmark or something like that, because you can, you're gonna be screwed to some degree. Not that you're going to lose, no, but you're not going to get the benefits that were historically there. So it's that kind of a thing. So you need to be careful about going off the path. And so we've now researched that. Now we're going back to the 70-day one. But you'll notice there's no west wall. One of these things that if you start declaring a war fast and get France at war with you, you won't have a wall to defend. There won't be one there. Because the west wall wasn't built until much later. On Hearts of Iron 3, it started out with a west wall. I removed it for TRE, so fortunately they didn't add it here at first, but they allowed you to get it way too early. Let's see, June 36, so we're going to start doing. That is sort of why I had that go fast. Now, the Reich is surrounded by enemies. I found this in a many years ago. I think it was in, maybe it's published in several things, but various German publications. This sort of two-page color printout, and then you can hardly see it here, but they print out the numbers of like tanks, as they understand it, men, and it's how Germany is surrounded by everybody who has a larger army, basically. And Czechoslovakia has a much larger army than the 100,000 man. So this is giving you the combination of German propaganda at the time, but also how they felt. They felt that they were surrounded by lots of enemies. And this isn't just the Nazis. This is, obviously Nazis did feel this way, but a lot of the conservative military types felt that they were surrounded by it. Okay, now this is sort of the start of the series of events for the West Wall, the Pioneer program. So we're going to start building. It will cost us some political power, and we will get. You can decide not to do it and just either not build the wall, but you don't want to, or build the wall with, manually, because I don't want to give it to you for free. You will want to start the Pioneer program. You now have the Pioneer program, and construction speed for civilian factories is -5%. Almost, well, it's a long time that it's up there, so 5% is probably pretty good. So that's reducing your build speed on these. That's not a permanent thing. That's just a current thing. Okay, we've got a diplomatic report in from Geneva, Switzerland. In the General Assembly of the League of Nations during the session on July 3rd, 1936, Stefan Lux, a Czechoslovakian Jewish journalist born in Vienna in 1888, obviously because Czechoslovakia is part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, committed suicide in protest to the rise of Nazism and the anti-Semitic Nuremberg laws in Germany. Lux was a regular in the League of Nations press gallery, and on the morning of July 3rd he rose during the proceedings and called the Secretary General Joseph Avenel by name and cried, "C'est la dernière coup, I think. This is the final blow," in English. He obviously said it in French, and shot himself. So he was a Jewish martyr, not a resistance fighter, but a martyr. So that's him. I think he should be remembered. I had long known about David Frankfurter. I hadn't known about Lux until fairly recently. Just one of those things that doesn't make the history books that should. Some people were trying to alert the world. Okay, we can improve our government. Okay, I want to point out a couple of other things here. If you notice, you can't have Martin Bormann at start anymore. And obviously you started with Rudolf Hess. You only get the chance to have Martin Bormann, so you can't double up for political power gain, if whether you wanted to or not, I don't know. But because you don't get him until in this with Third Reich events until Rudolf Hess leaves for his trip to Britain. And if he doesn't, if you've invaded Britain early enough, he doesn't rise to prominence. Hess stays as your major deputy, or since at least with this version I will be doing unique minister types for Germany as well. Okay, the Olympiad. Again, I would have this reduce a little tension some more, but we'll see. Okay, yeah, we're going to end this episode here. I think this will become not a long series, so don't think we're going to get that far, but I'm just sort of showing off what's happening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the video. Please post, and please do post questions, comments, suggestions, ideas. Love hearing from you. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.